The Fagernes Open was dominated by the Indians. Winning the first place was SL Narayanan, and in the second place was Abhimanyu Puranik. As you can see the standings here, Narayanan scored 7 points, so did Abhimanyu and Anton Demchenko. They all tied for the top 3 places. Abhimanyu's performance was very nice. He was unbeaten in the tournament, scoring 7 out of 9 against very strong opposition. If you see, he played against SL Narayanan, Praggnanandhaa, Mads Andersson, Kaida Kulaots, Anton Demchenko, and finishing second was truly amazing. And so we are going to talk about his performance, and we are going to have him over here. So a warm welcome, Abhimanyu.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sagar bhai.
Abhimanyu, fantastic performance, but not just this. I believe that even in the tournament prior to it, this one, which was the Serbian League, you finished first. Your team finished first.
Yeah, it was a great experience for me. So I'm still getting used to playing team tournaments, and hopefully this will be a great experience for me for the upcoming team tournaments which I play. It was a great experience in general, Serbian League also.
Mm. So these are two back-to-back events that you performed very well. What's your live rating now?
I have no idea, honestly. I hope it's somewhere near 2620 because I reduced a bit in between.
Mm.
But yeah, I hope it's somewhere near that mark at least.
2620 is really impressive. You are close to number 10, 12 in India and doing really well. Uh, Firstly, how was it at Fagernes Open? It's a beautiful place in Norway, and as we see, you were not alone there. There was this very nice contingent of Indian players: Prag, Vaishali, Shashi, Sethu, SL Narayanan, Padmini, and also I think you and SL Narayanan often share rooms together. I think at the World Rapid and Blitz and so on.
Yeah, I really liked the place Fagernes, and it was really beautiful, really scenic. I mean, near the mountains, and I really loved the place a lot. And yeah, I really loved hanging out with everyone also, like Setu, Padmini, Sashi. I have never really hung out with Sashi much, Prag and Vaishali. And sorry if I've missed anyone, but I didn't like hanging out with SL in general. But otherwise, it was pretty fun.
What? You
Was
didn't enjoy with SL?
no, it really annoys me a lot. I hate him. So
Why?
no, it's just I don't know. Somehow the sight of him makes my blood boil or something. I don't know. It's just very weird.
In what way? But
I don't know. It just annoys me a lot. He's always talking some nonsense with me for some reason. Yes, and I don't know. It's just very annoying.
so you don't like to be near him during tournaments.
No, not at all.
Can you give us an example of what he says that annoys you?
So he'll be like, he'll first of all look at you and then he'll have this very empty look. And then he'll say something, what are you playing that? Why are you playing that? And then, just, I mean, it's out of nowhere. I just, okay, stop attacking me already. I mean, I did nothing that wrong. Yeah. So,
Well, amazing.
yeah.
And also, I think you went to on a sort of a tour, yeah, of like went and saw a bit of the city of Fagernes.
No, this was actually Oslo. So we had one extra day before our flight. So uh, me, Setu, Padmini, and the guy in the photo is Shyam from Canada. So
Okay.
we got to explore Oslo a bit, which was wonderful as well.
Okay. Did you go to the Good Night Club?
Oh yeah, we went there and it was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was a
really like
nice
that.
place.
Like that. Yeah, they'll have like chess sets everywhere. There is a board engraved on the chess table, and they'll give you pieces, and you can also have a clock with it, and you can just enjoy, hang out there, have okay. If you drink, you can have a drink and like basically just have a pretty good time, have a chill time at night after your work or something. And yeah, I saw many people there just like enjoying. They had the live broadcast of the aim chess tournament which was going on,
Hmm.
and yeah, just the atmosphere there also was just amazing. In general, I had a blast in Norway. So
Wonderful, wonderful. I think what you told about this Good Night Cafe, it's a lot like these pubs which are, made for football fans, and there is a
mm,
lot of football. So this one is for chess, basically.
right,
I think
Right.
something like this sooner or later should happen in India as well, with the growing interest in the sport.
Yeah, it is a great idea. I think okay, I don't know. I think the one guy from ChessBase India started something similar in
Yes, yes,
Gujarat.
Ankit
Yeah.
Dalal. He no
Yeah.
longer works with ChessBase India, but he was in Ahmedabad. He started the Chess Cafe,
Uh-huh.
which has sort of chess themed some pictures and so on. So yes, I think already the idea is there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea. It's a
Right, right.
wonderful idea.
So which one of yours was a favorite game from the Fagernes?
So I was proud of two games in particular. One was against Kaida Kulaots, and one was the last round game against Kirk Ghazarian, who is a very talented player from USA. So I like both of these games very much.
Okay, let's go to your game with Kaido Kulaots. I believe that he had won the Aeroflot Open A. So although his rating is 2515, on any day he can play at a very good level.
Yeah, he's a very dangerous player.
Right. So how did you sort of approach this game? Because also this was round number 7, a very critical round in the tournament.
Yeah, so I was thinking of the openings that I would employ. I thought I'll just play solid at the start, get a position, and hopefully along the way I'll get some chances and capitalize on them. Otherwise, just have a game of sorts, yeah, and see what happens. Like, let's make some good moves and then see what happens.
Okay, let's see. So e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5. He played the Rui Lopez. a6, bishop a4, knight f6. And he went knight c3. Did this move surprise you?
Yeah, it did. But recently I had sort of checked this bishop c5 idea against four knights.
Uh,
So for four knights, bishop b5, there is this move bishop c5. And for example, if you play knight e5 d4, there is this move a6 here, which is, so there is some theory over here, and I had seen this before. So, okay, this is a bit different, but that's why the main thing was after bishop c5, I should just know what happens after knight into e5, like what is going on. So I
yeah,
sort of
in this
knew it.
position.
Yeah, so I knew what was happening, so I was comfortable with this bishop c5 first and delaying b5, because I had a game some years ago where I played b5, bishop b3, bishop c5. Okay, maybe the move order was different. And there he played castles. I played d6. He played knight d5, I believe. I played against Onishchuk from Ukraine. So I played castles here, which was a huge mistake. And
You didn't take this pawn. It was a risky pawn.
no, actually, I should play h6 because castles runs into d4. And
Oh,
knight in, okay, if you take on d4, he has bishop g5, and this is very, very dangerous for me.
oh my God.
So I sort of had some bad memory here.
Uh,
So I thought, okay, I should delay b5 at least for now and play bishop c5 first.
so you played here, and now if he took and d4,
I think
maybe
bishop d6 is the line here.
bishop d6. Okay. And sometimes they also do like this, yeah? It
Yeah,
gets very
it's
crazy.
yeah, okay. I think it's knight g4 or something, but it can get very, very crazy here.
Right.
So
So he went castles, which was solid. You also castled d3, b5,
uh,
bishop b3, and now, of course, that
yeah,
stopping the
memories.
pin with h6.
Yeah. So
And he played at a4. Do you think that in such lines of the Rui Lopez, it's kind of a little bit dull, dry sort of positions, or what's your way of approaching them as black, especially?
so this is what white is doing, is like very anti-martialist way of playing. So general, it like white can get a very, very tiny edge, or it can be like completely equal, just like what happens in Marshall. But I believe that bishop on c5 is a slight improvement over bishop on e7. And in Marshall also you have this bishop on b7. And many times you have to reroute it and bring it back to c8. So I think this is like a much like an improved version of that. So I was quite happy with my position already, although it's objectively equal.
Right. So rook b8, very logical move. He took, and he played knight to d5. And here you played d6, very standard, bishop e3, offering a trade. And I think this is the moment where you have some decisions to make, right? What to do.
Right. So one very obvious thing I can do is to take on e3.
Hmm.
But
Fe,
I
right?
thought he can take knight into f6 first,
Uh-huh.
queen f6, fe3, and then I have to bring my queen back one move.
Hmm.
So I thought he gained some tempi here. And I thought the more logical way is to play knight d5 to avoid this knight f6 stuff first.
So you took.
Yeah, and he has a choice of playing even bishop into c5 here.
Hmm.
So which was my main concern of sorts, because here knight f4 I thought is important, bishop e3, and now bishop. I was thinking just bishop g4,
Ah.
and I was quite happy with this position because if it takes, then ef4, and I will fracture his structure by playing either knight e5 or knight d4. So
Hmm.
I was happy with this.
Right. So he decided to take back with the bishop. No, nothing outrageous here. You took on e3. He took back with the pawn, and now I mean generally you would want to play on knight to e7, but you went very active knight b4.
Yeah, so in Marshall and some lines, this is an idea. The point is after bishop b3, c5, white white has this useful move c3 always, but here c3 runs into knight into d3,
Takes
queen
takes
d3,
takes.
c4, and this is a great position for black.
Very cool. So that's why he cannot get rid of your knight so easily here with c3.
Yeah, but he played queen d2, and anyways, I brought back my knight.
You came back.
But now c3 again runs into c4, dc, knight a5 stuff, I guess. So still not that
Oh,
easy.
wow. Amazing. That's a wonderful sacrifice. I mean, not a sacrifice, but a nice move. So he went BD5 here, which is very logical.
Yeah, so okay, I repeated. Like I
Hmm.
played knight d4, bishop b3, knight c6. I just wanted to know what his psyche is, so I
Hmm.
repeated once. And okay, I thought,
I think you would have never repeated thrice. Yeah, no draw here. I mean, it's equal. You want to play on.
yeah, I thought that considering the tournament situation in general, I like some simple positions, so I thought I should play on.
Right, 97. He went back to A2. And now you played queen to C7.
Yeah. So my point is I want to play c4 and block his bishop.
Okay. Because I'm generally a little bit confused when white has such a structure. How should black be approaching it? Because already there's no even breaks like d5 are difficult, even f5 is difficult. So this is a good plan here.
Yeah, so the thing is what white wants, I guess, is something like rook f double on f5, knight h4, maybe
Right,
target f7 pawn.
right.
And yeah, I'm also not a big fan of d5 breaks in this position, but sometimes it works. So one approach is to play bishop e6 instead of queen c7, let's say. And it is a very, very equal position. I thought like takes. Thought this is
Right.
nothing. Even white is probably slightly better because currently he has the a file.
Yes.
So
So you went queen c7. He went
yeah.
knight h4 as planned. Uh, and did you feel that this was inaccurate? Could he have done something else according to you?
Yeah, I wasn't so sure during the game because knight h4 is a concrete move, but
Hmm.
yeah, I thought maybe that in hindsight, maybe there is something better. So he can probably try to prepare it a bit. I don't know how exactly actually.
Hmm.
Because knight on f3 is currently even better placed than knight on h4. So
And also
after
the
c4 move.
yeah, you get c4, and I think now your plan is clear that you want to put your bishop here. So actually at this point after knight f5, how did you arrive at this decision to take on f5 with the bishop?
Yeah, so the thing is I want to keep this pawn on c4. I don't want to exchange c into d3 ever and open his bishop. So there were some ways to do it. One was bishop e6, but there is one problem. He can take on c4 and take on d6 with the queen.
Hmm.
And yeah, this would lead to an endgame, which is draw or maybe even slightly better for him.
Hmm.
So I didn't want this. And another way was, okay, so I can capture the knight with my knight or bishop.
Yeah.
But I thought that somehow my knight is naturally better placed on e7 than my bishop will be late. So I have to like improve my bishop's position later. but my knight is like controlling already some key squares after takes f6.
Because
And
otherwise he would go f6, so you played f6 here.
yeah, so I thought I can, if I keep this pawn on c4, I have some ideas like rook a8 is one idea, and like doubling on the a file and going after this bishop.
Correct.
So
So you went b3.
yeah,
And now you went d5. Very cool. You're playing against that bishop on a2.
right.
So he took. Again, you could also take with the b pawn. I guess that's also fine.
No, I was not sure because he has e4 and he can try to undermine the structure then.
Got it. So that's why you took here, e4.
Mhm.
You got your king out of the way, king h7, dc, bc. And during the game, did you already feel like you are better here?
Yeah, I felt so because I have a lot of play now, and I just have to go after this bishop and some pawns. He has some weaknesses. One thing which is bad for me is my king can be weak in some situations
Yeah.
because all the light squares are weak. So I have to be a bit careful about that. But objectively, I felt I should be better here.
So you went queen e2, rook b4, very nice, defending the pawn, c3, and you put your rook on a4. All logical. Now you want to get your other rook also on the a file.
Yep.
Put pressure here. So he went rook a d1.
I
And
believe
now,
this is a mistake, rook a1. He should play rook a c1 and hold on to the c3 pawn.
and then try to put his bishop here and somehow, yeah.
Yeah, I was actually not sure how better I am because I was always scared of some rook f3, rook g3, queen g4 stuff. And but okay, I thought it shouldn't work because it takes quite a lot of time for him to prepare it. So
But when you went rook a d1, now you found a very good move. Maybe the viewers can pause and figure out what did Abhimanyu do here. It's a simple move, but also you have to be alert to find it. And you played here queen a5. And I think he might have, I don't know if he missed or not, but maybe this and check, yeah, something like that. He might have missed.
yeah, possibly.
Right. So he went rook d2, and you tripled here, rook f2, and you took on c3, h3. And now I think your moves just flowed.
Yeah, sort of, but I have to be still careful because he actually is very tricky and he was putting quite a lot of cheapos around. So I have to be a bit careful.
Okay, king h2. You came back, rook b2, queen c7, very solid, rook b1, queen f7. You don't want to push your pawn, yeah? Already start pushing, or it's risky to open up this bishop.
Yeah, I was scared of bishop d5 here and some rook b7 ideas. So I thought no need. I mean, maybe somehow there is some concrete way, but I thought, okay, it's better to play slowly and slowly but surely.
Correct. Rook here. Of course, by the way, in this after rook b1, his point is if you take, check, this is already a draw. So he had to, so you went queen f7. Now you are threatening to take. So he played rook b2, king h8, nice move, just preparing queen d1, queen c7, queen b1, rook a7, rook b4. Now with all the preparations done, I think was the right time to push.
Yeah, and this is actually not my style at all. I will try to
Exactly.
find a concrete way always. But before this game, I was checking some games of Andrekin from Rapid Chess Championship. And I saw the way he converted, especially in rapid time controls, where it's very difficult to convert games. And I was so impressed by his games. Yeah, like he literally gave his opponent no chance once he gets a better positions many times. So I was like trying to emulate him, possible in some way. So
Do you think it's easy to sort of remove these little flaws that are there at this level? Of course, when a player like you who's 2600 rated, these flaws in the game are not so big, but they are small ones which are going on since years. When you identify them, do you think it's possible to fix them like instantly?
maybe not instantly, but I feel there should be some self-awareness and should constantly, of course, try to see where you can better yourself. So in general, I thought that my conversion wasn't great in the last 1 year. So I was looking at games of some players, specifically like Andreken, to help understand how to convert in a more efficient way. So I thought that this is like it's better. Like sometimes what happens, engine tells us that you missed a more concrete way. And sometimes the concrete way is the better way of converting, but sometimes it's better to just convert it in a way that your opponent just doesn't have a chance at all.
Right.
And you can play in a more safe and conservative manner and just slowly grind down the position.
Very well. Don't you think that looking at games of Carlsen is useful in this aspect?
Absolutely. He's probably the ultimate master in just,
In
you know,
converting slight
yeah,
advantages.
yeah, it's just very sadistic. Yeah, like the way he converts, it's just horrible for opponents sometimes.
But sometimes one gets the feeling that this is too Carlsen-esque, like when you look at Andrekin, you are like, okay, this you can do it. With Carlsen's games, it's sometimes difficult to emulate. Is that the case?
It happens that when you look at his like some of like his games or some other top players, it sometimes feels like just flowing. Yeah, like it's like the moves are flowing, and I think that why can't I do this? I mean, but it's not just one move. You have to keep making a lot of effective moves one after another. Then it's possible to say that okay, like I'm actually getting better at this. So
So he went rook c4. You played queen a5, defending the pawn. He came queen d3. And once again, you played the most solid move, rook c7, defending your pawn. After takes, queen takes, bishop d5. And now your rook entered through a1. Bishop c4, rook a4, bishop b3, rook b4, bishop d1, and now rook came to b2. Rook takes b2, c takes b2. I think he got no chance. Bishop b3, takes, and he resigned.
yeah,
Come on, this was a very high class game by you.
so I mean, yeah, it was, I guess, but yeah, it wasn't that easy. But because he always had some tricks, but uh, yeah, I was proud of this game because it's not probably my style in general. So
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as far as what we know of you, you're very aggressive. You like to just sort of be in a tactical play, also active play all the time. So I think this was
yeah.
a very stable, steady game and shows like you are sort of developing a more rounded style of play.
Yeah, so recently I thought I was like playing a bit more, brashly or rashly, I mean.
Hmm.
So this tournament, my main objective was to remain solid. And if like sniff some danger, somehow find a way to bail out and run away with a draw. So that's why I don't think I played extremely well in this tournament. But somehow always against, especially against players like Prag, Anton, SL, I found a way to like keep the position always in control.
Hmm.
And although I didn't get as many chances, it was a safe game. It was an accurate game, which was good enough for me.
Yeah,
So
draws against these players is a great result. And going to your last round game, you were playing against Kirk Ghazarian, 2-4-4-6. And as you said, he's a very talented youngster from the US. And playing with black, especially this line which you played, it's very, very sort of equalish.
yeah, so he mainly plays Catalan, and he had quite a good tournament. I checked before the round; he needed to make a draw to make a GM norm.
Okay.
So I was very happy with that
Yes,
because
this is
that meant
always a tricky situation before. I know people, when they need just a draw, they are always shaky.
yeah, and I was extremely happy when I learned this because I thought, okay, even if I get a worse position, chances are that he'll accept my draw offer, so I can play more freely.
Nice. Bishop c3, bishop b7. This is all standard stuff. a5 you played, and now c5.
Yeah, I didn't quite like his rookie one move. I thought it was somewhat out of place, but I guess it's not a big deal.
Right. He took, knight takes, bishop b2. You took, bishop d4, b5 was played, and he played a4, fighting for the c4 square.
Yeah. So here already I was quite happy with my position because it seems like a good sort of Catalan for black.
All
So
his pieces are active. Your bishop also has this nice square to go to.
yeah,
So you knight c6, took, knight to c4, and now bishop b4. This rookie one is
yeah,
attacked.
exactly.
Rook f1, rook c8. But still, I mean, you don't have like a huge edge or anything here.
Yeah, so exactly after this point, okay, I thought knight e3 was a smart move. It's trying to like liquidate and find better chances for draw after exchanging some pieces. But here after knight e3, I was thinking for a long time here. Okay, I can play something like knight c3, let's say, and bishop c3, rook a3. And I was not sure how much I have here because his rook will maybe come to d3, like exchange the light square bishop. Maybe I'm slightly better, but I didn't think it was anything. And thought also it's easier to defend when after exchanging some pieces. So
Right.
I thought after, okay, I played rook e8, and the point I thought was like, what does white play here?
I
Uh,
would to take on d5 if I need a draw, then just take
yeah,
twice.
yeah. Then bishop d5, queen d5, and I was happier because my rooks are already much more active. My pieces
But
are much
what
more
was the
active.
point? Rook e8 is like a waiting move or something. Because even in by if your rook was on f8 or e8, how does that matter?
Yeah, so after rook 8, for example, I have some e5 ideas which came in handy later.
e5.
And the thing is, I didn't, if he takes, I thought, okay, it's a better version for me.
Hmm.
Like he's allowing my queen to develop, and I thought it's a better version than me taking on e3. And so here I thought, okay, if he moves his rook to c1, which is like a very natural move, I can take on e3. He doesn't want f e3, so bishop e3, queen d1, and his a4 pawn is hanging.
Hmm.
And if he moves, like I didn't see quite a useful move for him here.
Right. Right.
So he played queen d3 here, and
Okay.
here I was already happy because I can take on e3, and he took on c6, took on c6. So here he has a choice between queen e3 and bishop e3. Both are
I think if
sort
he
of.
takes here, this is really a very sad position.
It is sad, but these positions they are sad, but to win them are also somewhat. To win it is also somewhat tricky always.
Correct. But okay, I mean, when you will double here, let's say like this, he will push d4 perhaps or what?
Yeah,
And then this is a very difficult position to play, right? You will keep putting pressure. Maybe there's
and
e5. I don't know.
yeah, it is. But I feel that here we have greater drawing chances because yeah, but if his come comes for the if his king comes for the defense of the d pawn, I thought it's okay. It will have to play 100 moves, and still the game might be a draw. Who knows?
Right.
But here I was very happy because
He
I
took
got
with the queen.
like flowing like some.
This is exactly your point of rook e8.
Yeah,
You got e5. He had to move back. And
and rook
now,
c2.
very beautiful move, rook c2 on the 7th rank. He tried to move his rook with a tempo and also get a square for his bishop.
Yeah,
And you played queen e7, bishop a1, and queen e6. I mean, if you give this position to someone who's just looking at it for the first time, they might feel like, okay, maybe small edge for black. But actually, it's quite a lot, right? Because a4 is weak, queen is entering here, e2 is weak.
yeah. I feel also his bishop is completely out of place, like very ineffective,
Hmm.
and is not black. White is not able to generate any counterplay as of now.
Correct.
So I have a very straightforward plan of playing queen a2. But here I thought queen c6 is more solid.
Right. Queen c6, queen b5, and you just took it because you are going to get the pawn, not just e2, but also b5 is weak.
Yeah, here actually I had to see because he has some ideas with rook d5 also. So I was confused between rook c5 and rook e2 here.
Hmm.
But intuitively I played rook e2 in the end. But rook c5 I was not so happy about rook d7, rook b5, rook a7. And this is obviously better for me, but thought it will take a lot of that. Like there will be a big game still, and it's not that easy. I thought should be better for me, of course, but
Right. So AB, rook e2, rook d5, and now a very solid move f6. He went rook c1. Now with his two rooks and the pawn, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
But again, you found the most accurate move, rook b8 here.
Yeah, so I had to see this rook c1 move in particular, rook c1 and rook f d1 when I took on e2.
Correct. Bishop. And he cannot try and double on the 7th rank somehow. Okay, there is this
Yes.
threat.
Yeah.
But let's say if I start, then you'll take on beef. No, is it possible? Like maybe.
I'll play rook e1 check and then
First, smart. So
yeah.
you don't let him keep the two rooks.
Yeah.
Okay, bishop c3 and now rook c8. I think, of course, tactically you were very alert here. Bishop c3, rook a5, and a nice move. And this ended it. Take, and you very very important to take a5, not e1.
Yeah. Don't want to take e1 here.
Rook a8 and
That would be so bad.
So bishop a5, b7, and bishop c7. He resigned here, and fantastic win for you, Abhimanyu. Great tournament also, and I think with this you finished second. Joint first also you can say, because I think the prize money was shared between all three of you.
Right.
So Abhimanyu, overall, what is your next plans now after this? Are you playing the Asian Continental?
Yeah, I'm playing in Asians. So I hope that it will be a good tournament for me. It's a really strong event and it's happening in Delhi. And there are a lot of my, friends come competitors there. So it will be an interesting tournament for sure.
Absolutely. And maybe we'll also see you in Hyderabad for DreamHack.
Yes, yes, I hope so. I hope so.
Are you also into gaming?
When I was like 15 or 16 years old, I was crazy into Counter-Strike for
Acha,
some time.
acha.
And yeah, I really loved I love FIFA also always.
Hmm.
So I don't know if I'm still good at it, but I hope like to think that I can beat some decent players there. But
Maybe
yeah.
there are some great Counter-Strike players in India, right? Does that exist, like chess?
Oh yeah. Oh, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. People, I'll tell you, are completely like professionals. Yeah, they prepare like the way we prepare for chess.
Mhm.
They are extremely serious and they'll have the strategies and everything. It's like a different sport, to be honest.
Correct. And I think Nepo is also very good at, maybe it's Counter-Strike or some other game, I think.
I think it's Dota.
He's good at
He's,
Dota.
he was a professional player, Dota player
Acha.
also before.
Amazing, amazing. And if you do come there and you would also be witnessing this, who would you say is a favorite in this Deathmatch 2.0?
It's so difficult to pick one actually. I would uh, I know both of them well, but I've stayed more times with Arjun
Hmm.
in a tournament, and
You
you
also
know,
danced more with him than Gukesh.
but Gukesh was present in the room when we were dancing.
Uh,
He was, yeah,
you
he also
couldn't make
danced.
him dance. Oh, you made him.
Yeah, we made him dance, and but it is like a special BTS footage.
Oh,
So
you have it. I thought there was no footage of Gukesh dancing.
yeah, yeah. I hope that okay, someday like he'll win something extremely big, and then I can be like, okay, you want to see something very nice about him.
Yeah, maybe you're waiting for him to become the world champion or something like that.
Yeah, and then I can just show, okay, look at this guy became. Yeah.
But yeah, I think as you were saying, maybe you know Arjun better than him.
Yeah, I think Arjun's style is like very universal, but Gukesh is just a monster when it comes to like calculation, and he's just such a warrior, warrior like player. So that's why it's difficult. But because I'm more closer, let's say, to Arjun comparatively, so I will say Arjun.
Okay,
They have
fantastic.
very different styles of play, so it's a very interesting match.
Yeah, it would be great fun to follow it. And Abhimanyu, regarding your overall chess and your how are you placed right now? What are you up to? Are you studying now? Are your studies over? What is happening?
Yeah, so I am currently studying MCom in Symbiosis College in Pune. So, but of course, chess comes first for me and then studies. But I like to, I do think that there is a life outside of chess also for me.
Hmm.
So, and I'm also very interested by some other like these things like studying and also I was, yeah, that's why I feel that it's also useful for my chess sometimes, to defocus, study, and then come back and you clear your mind a bit and maybe you can play better that way. But of course, my first focus is chess, and uh, I I want to give it all I can in the next few years. So
All the interviews that I've heard of yours are more like, just let's take it step by step. I want to reach 2600, we'll see how it goes, and okay, I'm enjoying myself. Is that always the way in which you look at things, or do you sort of have some plans? Because at some point, in order to make the next leap, let's say beyond 2650, 2700, you need to work in a specific way, right? You need to have trainers, or you need to build a team around you. I think it requires a different level of investment, not just of time but also finances.
yeah, so that is a somewhat tricky thing because it's not easy to have a full-time coach, and also traveling requires expenses and all. So it is not an easy thing. So some people might be misled by I put a story that I traveled by business class. So don't think that okay, okay, this guy is like extremely rich. They just gave it to me. They thought I was a business class personality. I don't know. So so, but okay, in general, you have to manage these things and it's not that easy. So I would definitely love if some support comes my way,
Hmm.
because then I would be able to invest more resources, like get a full-time coach or work with someone extremely work with a very big coach. And I'm currently not having any coach. I'm just trying to make it as my own, and it is great, but I would like to see how far I can go, and for that I would of course require uh, much more resources and a more structured way of going further. So yeah, it would definitely be great if I can access some more resources and get better at chess in a more structured way.
You said you have no coach right now, so you work
Yeah,
entirely on your own.
yeah,
That's not easy, yeah, like considering the level at which you are. To improve here, you definitely need someone to kind of guide you, at least. I don't know, maybe have a team of at least some people who have been there, done that. Don't you think that's important?
yeah, it is very important. So yeah, okay, thankfully for me I have a great support system. My parents, my mentor Jayan sir, and like yeah, in general, like I have a good support system, so I'm having a positive mentality, which is great because when at this at after you become 2600, like one bad tournament can put you off really badly, and I had like many bad tournaments
Yeah,
this year,
yeah.
and then you have to constantly keep coming back. So yeah, it's not easy. So I would like to, that's why I'm trying to like have a more consistent and a structured way of improving, rather than just increasing 20 points, decreasing 20 points, and just go back and forth. So that's what I want to see in my play now. So yeah, of course, yeah, it would require I would like to like have more access to like coaching and
Hmm.
so on.
So if a sponsor comes, it's much easier for you to invest in things which can help you improve. Because right now, I guess, even though it's quite good enough for you to make a living out of chess, like let's say the prize money that you win or the tournaments that you play is good enough to make a living, it's very difficult to invest into things which are capital intensive and which may or may not give the result.
Exactly. So yeah, I can make a living. I won't say it's a like what to say. It is a normal living. It's not like a special, like I'm not earning a lot or something.
Right.
So of course, at now I can just focus because of my age. I can still just keep focusing on this, but at some point I also have to think about the other stuff like earning and all.
Right.
So, but for me now, the main thing is to just improve, and I want to see how far I can go.
Hmm.
So yeah, it would be great if I can access more resources,
Yeah.
because generally the prizes I get are something I invest. Like you require money for everything, for traveling, for coaches, for let's say even ducats, yeah, everything. So that's why it's like not that easy, but I'm uh, trying to find a balance, and hopefully I find a way through somehow.
Do you think, just final question on this, that as one's age keeps growing, that feeling like, oh, I need to make a living out of this or I need to earn, that starts to put a bit of pressure as a player as compared to, let's say, when you were, or when these youngsters were 16, 17, 18, this age?
Oh, definitely. I think when you're like 16, 17, you don't even think about it. Like many people will just see the trophy and they'll think, okay, this trophy is better than the money that I'm getting. But obviously, after some point, you have to earn like from whatever you do. And I'm extremely passionate about chess in general. Like I love chess and I also like to follow everything that goes around chess. But it's not that easy to make a living, a comfortable living, if I'm just playing like this and traveling a lot. And so it's there should be some more stable way, I guess,
Hmm.
for players to earn so that they can keep their minds off this other aspect, which is the finance. So that's why you see many players who will go into coaching. Now, coaching is a different field altogether, I feel.
Yes.
So, but it is a more stable way of earning.
But
So
you
they go
can't
there.
focus on your play after you start
Exactly.
training, because then you also have to think about your students.
Exactly. So you can't focus on your own game that much then.
Correct. And have you thought about these PSPB or all of that? I think you were with AAI for
Yeah.
some time, or you're
Yeah, I
still with
still
them.
am.
You still are.
I still am with Airports Authority, and I'm grateful for that. But firstly, yeah, it will go on till I'm 24. After that, they have this rule, so it won't go on after that. And for example, in SL's case, he's like extremely strong, and but he couldn't get into AI because he was about 24.
24 years of age.
Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. But he's now doing well, at least in that part. So like AICF is giving a stipend to him, which is great. And yeah, so similarly, I would like to get into PSPB and like other teams as well, but I don't know how to be honest.
I think PSPB also, what from what I know, is now bit saturated. Like there are no spots left for new, and there
Exactly.
are so many talents coming up. It's not easy to, that first it was like you are a GM, you would get it. Then it was like if you are 2600, you would get it. Now it's not sure about that as well.
Yeah, it's not sure, and I don't think there are a lot of vacant spots left. And if there are, I don't know how to approach them actually. So I I don't know how it works honestly.
Correct, correct.
So, but there should be, I feel, a more stable way.
Hmm.
And that's why I feel like some of your initiatives, like the Chess Super League or something, I think leagues are a great way for professional players, especially to keep have some sort of stable earnings. So I'm really looking forward to the various leagues which are hopefully happening in the coming years in India. And okay, I'm also trying to get into some more leagues
Hmm.
abroad.
Correct.
So I think that is one way. But in general, for me, all this is I just want to play a lot, and I really enjoy chess. I really enjoy the life I have because of chess. So I would like to keep this life going for as much as I can. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Abhimanyu, for these insights. Also, I completely get it that if you get a stable sponsor, it would really help you to move towards your aim of 2700. So, thanks for this conversation and wish you
Thank you,
good
Sagar
luck
bhai.
for Asian Championship and hope to see you soon in Hyderabad.
Yeah, see you hopefully in Hyderabad, and thanks for inviting me again.
See you.
See you.